Students, in the previous video we had seen about your ray theory transmission concepts. So under ray theory transmission concepts we had seen what is meant by laws of refraction and laws of refraction there. Now we will see the concept called your Snell's law. So here we are going to apply your Snell's law concept to find your ray theory of transmission there. So here when I am going to have when a light ray is going to be incident on the interface between the two mediums. So I am going to have two mediums there where the two mediums are going to have two different indices of refraction there. So when a light ray is going to be incident on these two, on the interface between the two medium, based on the angle of incidence there might be a refraction process that is going to take place. So when the light ray is going to be incident on the interface between the two mediums, when the ray is going to transfer from a less dense medium to a higher dense medium, the wave will get refracted. So we say that when n1 is going to be n2, when n1 is going to be greater than n2, you are going to have a refraction process to take place. So a relationship that is going to exist is your n1 sin phi 1 is equal to n2 sin phi 2, where n1 is nothing but the refractive index of the first material and n2 is going to be the refractive index of the second material. So phi 1 is going to be the angle of the incident ray to the normal of the interface there, and n2 is going to be the refractive index of the second medium, and phi 2 is going to be the angle of refraction normal to the interface there. So here your amount of refraction that is going to exist is going to be depending on the interface of the two materials. So based on the refractive index of the two materials, the angle of refraction is going to rely on. So here in this case we say that the refractive index is nothing but your index of refraction, or it can be denoted by n. So here based on that material density we can define the refractive index as the ratio of the velocity of the light in air or free space to the velocity of the light in the dielectric material. So dielectric material is whatever substance we are going to use, water is going to be the dielectric refractive index of that dielectric material there. So the refractive index for vacuum and air is 1, and for water it is 1.3, and for glass the refractive index is 1.5. So we define the refractive index n is equivalent to the speed of light in air to the speed of light in medium, that is equivalent to c by v. So here we are going to follow the Snell's law principle there. So the refracted wave, so I am going to have this is going to be your medium n1 and this is going to be your medium n2. So when this is going to have your medium n1 is going to have a lesser refractive index compared to your medium n2, then we call it as your refracted ray will move towards the normal. So next is when the refractive index is n1 is going to be greater, when this is going to be greater than your refractive index n2, the refracted wave will move away from the normal there. So here an angle is going to be a ray is going to be incident on the interface between the two mediums. So I am going to have two mediums here. This is going to be an air medium and this is going to be a glass medium, and I am going to assume that this is going to have this medium is going to have refractive index n1 and this medium is going to have a refractive index n2. And first condition I am going to assume that your n1 is going to be greater than n2. So when n1 is going to be greater than n2, the angle of refraction is going to move away from the normal. So we can say that this is your angle of refraction and it is going to move away from the normal there. So here when n1 is going to be less than your n2, so n1 is less than n2 means this is going to be greater. When this is going to be greater, the angle of refraction is going to be towards the normal. So it is going to be towards the normal. So we are going to see the Snell's law basic equation there. So this is going to be, I am going to draw a right angle I am going to draw a triangle here, and this is going to be your opposite side, and here this is going to be your opposite side. So we are going to find out what is your opposite side. So here in this case your sin phi 1 is equivalent to, if I am going to take your sin phi 1 is equivalent to your incident ray is going to be your refractive index, it is going to have n1. So the hypotenuse here is going to be your n2. So sin n1 is equivalent to your opposite side divided by your hypotenuse. So opposite side is what? Here in this case it is going to be your opposite side as such. By hypotenuse is going to be n1. Similarly for sine phi 2 it is going to be your opposite side divided by n2. So when I am going to see that your opposite sides, if I am going to equate, it is going to be n1 sin phi 1 is equivalent to n2 sin phi 2. So n1 sin phi 1 is equivalent to n2 sin phi 2. So now we are going to see what is going to be the ratio of your n1 sin phi 1 by n1 by n2 is equivalent to sin phi 2 by sin phi 1. So we say that the ratio of the refractive index of the two mediums. The refractive index of the two mediums is going to be inversely proportional to the refractive and your incident angles, because it is the reverse of it. So we say inversely proportional to refractive and your incident angles. So now for your refractive index n1, we will substitute the value to be c by v1, and for n2 we will substitute the value c by v2. So when I am going to substitute these values in the above equation, it is going to be c by v1 by c by v2 is equal to sin phi 2 by sin phi 1. So if c gets cancelled, it is your v2 by v1 is equivalent to sin phi 2 by sin phi 1. So that is your refractive index. So here in this case, this is your velocity of your medium. So the velocity of the ratio of the velocity of second medium to the velocity in your first medium is equivalent to sin phi 2 by sin phi 1. Now what we are going to do is, we want to find out the critical angle. So critical angle is when a ray is going to be incident. So here in this case, when a ray is going to be incident on the interface between the two mediums, your refracted wave will move towards the normal when your n1 is going to be greater than n2. So when this is going to be greater, then automatically your waveform, that is your refracted wave, will move towards the interface there. When it's going to move towards the interface, when I'm going to continuously increase this incident angle, your phi 1 is going to be increased, the angle of refraction will also increase. At one stage, when I'm going to continuously increase this incident ray, that is your incident angle phi 1, at one stage your angle of refraction will be equivalent to 90 degrees. So that means that it will be parallel to the interface of between the two mediums there. So that point of that angle, incident angle, is going to be called as the critical angle. So that is what we have said here. When the angle of incidence phi 1 is increased, there will be increase in the angle of phi 2. So at some conditions, the phi 1, the refractive angle phi 2 is going to become 90 degrees to the normal there. So when this happens, the refracted ray will be along the surface there. So when it is going to be along the surface, this angle of incidence is going to be called as the critical angle, and it is denoted by phi c. So the critical angle is going to be defined as the minimum angle of incidence at which the ray is going to strike the interface between the two mediums, and it is going to cause an angle of refraction phi 2 equal to 90 degrees. So here we are going to find out what is the relationship between a critical angle and the refractive indices there. So using your Snell's law, we know that phi 1, when phi 1 is equivalent to phi c and phi 2 is equivalent to 90 degrees, if I substitute these values in the Snell's law equation, it is going to be n1 sin phi c is equivalent to n2 sin phi 2. Phi 2 is 90 degrees. So here in this case, your sin 90 is going to be 1. So that means this n2 by n1, it is going to be on the right hand side. Sin phi c is equal to n2 by n1. So we are in need of the critical angle phi c. So phi c is equal to sin inverse of n2 by n1. So we write the actual value of the critical angle is going to be depending on the combination of the materials that is going to be present at each side of your boundary there. So because it is going to depend, a critical angle is going to depend on the refractive indices of the two materials. So here when the incident angle is going to be increased beyond the critical angle, so beyond the critical angle means the light ray. So you can see that when the incident angle, so this is your interface, when the incident angle is going to be increased beyond the critical angle, the light ray will not pass through this interface, instead it will be reflected back here. So it does not pass through this medium to the interface into the other medium there. So in this condition, the angle of reflection is going to be occurring there. So when the angle of incidence occurs, that means that angle of incidence is equivalent to angle of reflection there. So here we have the principle called total internal reflection. So the total internal reflection of the beam takes place. So this total internal reflection concept is going to apply for the propagation of the waves within the fiber there. So when I am going to use your optical fiber, total internal reflection principle concept is going to be applied. So here where we can observe your total internal reflection processes in the materials where the velocity of the light is going to be less than the air. So here basically the two conditions of your the two conditions that are required for the total internal reflection to take place. First is the refractive index of the first medium must be greater than the refractive index of the second one. Then the angle of incidence must be greater than or equivalent to the critical angle. So when this angle of incidence is going to be greater than or equivalent to the critical angle, then only your internal reflection takes place. So this is your concept of your total internal reflection, and this is the condition for total internal reflection to take place. So first we'll see three problems here. So one is a light ray is going to be incident from medium 1 to medium 2. If the refractive indices of the medium 1 and medium 2 are 1.5 and 1.36 respectively, then determine the angle of refraction for an angle of incidence of 30 degrees. So here in this case, medium 1 is going to have a refractive index. So given in the problem is your medium 1 is going to have a refractive index 1.5 and medium 2 is going to have a refractive index 1.36. So the angle of incidence they are given as 30 degrees. They have asked us to calculate angle of refraction. So angle of refraction, that is nothing but phi 2. So how to find out the angle of refraction is n1 sin phi 1 from the Snell's law. n1 phi sin phi 1 is equal to n2 sin phi 2. So n1 is 1.5, sin phi 1 is 30 degrees, so is equivalent to n2 is going to be 1.36 sin phi 2. So from this sin phi 2 is nothing but 1.5 divided by 1.36 into sin 30. So sin phi 2 is, this is going to be the value 0.55147. So phi 2 is nothing but sin inverse of 0.55147 is 33.46. So the angle of refraction is going to be 33.46 from the normal. So we'll see the second problem. In the second problem, a light ray is going to be incident from the glass to air. Calculate the critical angle phi c. So we should know the refractive index there. So the refractive index of the glass is 1.5. The refractive index of the air is 1. So now we are supposed to calculate the critical angle. So n1 sin phi c is equivalent to n2 sin phi 2. So here in this case your phi 2 is going to be your 90 degrees there. So if I substitute it, your sin phi c is equivalent to your n2 by n1. n2 value is what? It is 1. Divided by n1 is 1.5 into sin 90 is 1. So your value is going to be 0.67. So from this critical angle, if I am going to find, phi c is equivalent to sin inverse of 0.67. That is nothing but 41.81 degrees there. So critical angle is equivalent to 41.81. Next is, problem is calculate the numerical aperture, acceptance angle and critical angle of the fiber having n1 core refractive index is 1.5 and refractive index of cladding is 1.45. Now, so in your solution, n1 is 1.5, n2 is 1.45. So now we want to find numerical aperture. So the formula for numerical aperture is your n1 into root of 2 del. Del is the refractive index difference. So what is the refractive index difference? It is n1 minus n2 divided by n1. So substitute the value of n1, n2 and n1 here. Your value is 0.033. Now you substitute in this numerical aperture formula. So numerical aperture is equal to your n1 is 1.5 into square root of 2 into 0.033. So the numerical aperture is 0.387. So now acceptance angle. So acceptance angle is nothing but sin phi naught is equal to numerical aperture. So that is phi naught is equal to sin inverse of numerical aperture. So if I substitute here, the value is going to be 22.78 degrees. Next is critical angle. Critical angle phi c is equal to sin inverse of n2 by n1. So n2 value is going to be 1.45, N1 is 1.5, so 5C is 75.2 degrees. So rest we'll see in the next video there. Thank you.